There's a phrase I picked up somewhere along the way that I get pretty good mileage out of. If I could just get out of my own way. This continues to be relevant in like every aspect of my life. I'm not one of those I've had 3 days before noon kind of dudes, but I see the value in a list and chipping away the stone, just kind of keeping at it. Seems much more pleasant to me and be a way more laid back way of getting there, you know? So music has always been one of those things for me, and it appears to be so in an ever-growing nature. So I thought I would learn some new things and try to document it for a show and tell. I, like many others, really like music, and am often completely infatuated by it. It's been there for me all the time, every time. Just truly a beautiful gift of expression and connection. My first dance with my now fiance was to This Song Was Brought by Falling Bomb at a Thursday show. We got engaged at one of Manchester Orchestra's Atlanta's Thanksgiving shows as stuffing. Who knows, maybe married at Bonnaroo at Riot Fest. So for as long as I can remember, I've had this thing with music. Now I'm not saying I'm good at it. I'm mostly self-taught, no professional lessons. Any instructions was given by friends around campfires or on futons, and man, did they have some patience. But I've always kind of chipped away at it. And that kind of brings us to today. Here we are. We'll probably bounce back and forth a little bit, but this is some kind of attic studio type thing. It's turning into a laboratory. It's kind of finding itself as it goes. And I really like that because it's all about learning, and I think learning is really cool. Sounds kind of silly, I suppose, but I feel as though it is becoming more and more challenging to find time and space to sit and focus on thoughts, a new skill, to read, be creative, whatever floats your boat. I've found that in addition to finding the space at any scale, to embark on something completely new or even similar path to an interest is often accompanied by a whole mountain's worth of, I don't know what that is either, and this list of things I'm having to learn is getting long. For me, that is a whole other hurdle to tackle in a clumsy fashion, but the journey is a destination, right? But that hammers on learning and being creative and self-taught and being vulnerable enough to say, I don't know, and to get out of my own way. So here we are in this studio that is growing at a shining light in the unknown, one question at a time. I'm freaking stoked you're here. My fiance and I were fortunate enough to purchase this house a few years ago, and as soon as we walked to quote-unquote upstairs, to what the previous owners had tried to convert to, we suppose, as like an Airbnb or rental space, was to most a nightmare, but to me, I saw potential. They had already had an electrician come out and install a second fuse box, ran mini splits for AC, insulated a good bit of the space, installed some walls, windows. It was probably at that point when they came to the floors and were tired and just didn't follow through. I spent some nights and weekends working and reinstalled the floor in the attic, did some projects, and Hiram Audio Labs was born. So the layout as it stands right now, and there are already plans to move a bunch of stuff around and reorganize for more productivity. I can't tell if I'm being more productive or procrastinating, but we'll come back to that later. Drum room in the east. It's freaking dope. We got the overheads, we got the individual mics on the snare and toms and whatnot. We got room mics. My favorite thing about this whole room is a monitor and being able to see and control Ableton from there. Never thought I would be so blessed. My main co-producer, lead engineer, helps me dial in the EQ settings and gain staging quite regularly. She's a wonderful accomplice. But yeah, cool room. Miking can be a little challenging from time to time, but it works, and that's that. Over here, we have this main workstation, the brains and nervous system of the operations. Cut a hole through the wall right there to run the cables to the drum room. Take the boy out of Georgia. Barely, but you know what I'm saying. It all really starts with the mixer here. This is a small part of a totally too good to be true Facebook Marketplace haul that I kept going back and forth about. Turned out to be legit, and I am super stoked that I took that risk. Some church had gone out of business or something. I don't know. But that's how this gentleman came into possession of all these items, and he was very much like, please get this out of my garage. I want my life back. My wife wants her garage back. So I obliged. I've got it running through all these boxes and whatnot over here, patch bays, dedicated lines. It's been a whole learning experience, and then into my computer. Over here, I have this old chest of drawers, keeping stuff organized or losing in there, mixed bag. And then a storage room for storage, pretty self-explanatory. I think by this time next year, it'll be a guitar isolation room. We'll see. Over here is a guitar room in the west, riffing to the setting sun. These all have lines running to the mixer, so I can be recording in a couple of minutes. It's a pretty cool space to play music and record in. I have this whole cover series I'm in the process of recording right now, and it's been really fun learning process, kind of helped bring a lot of things to light. I also have this little couch over here and a projector and a screen to watch some videos or play some games on. Just all around, pretty cool little pad. It's got challenges, ambulances coming through several times a day, loud cars, lawn care. It is what it is. But that is kind of what I hope the overall spirit of this thing is. Doing the best you can with what you've got to give you the best chance of getting where you want to go. All this stuff is secondhand or used. I had to spend a lot of time accumulating it, learning it, still accumulating it. It's all been a labor of love. This whole thing has been born out of me trying to get out of my own way. I'll share a quick story. A few years ago, I wanted to start playing guitar more. I had a couple guitar hangers around. I wanted to install them, but it made me confront leaving my nice new to me acoustic hanging out of the case all the time. What if it got a ding, or what if it lost value? Then it might not be worth as much if I want to trade it or sell it for other gear. Forced an uncomfortable question. If I treat the guitar like that, do I ever really own it? Is a 25 or 50 bucks off resale price not worth the grins from picking or songs that were sung? I certainly didn't like the idea of not playing my guitar as much because it might get a scratch or ding here and there, so I decided to hang up my guitar. I decided to hang up all my guitars. And I started playing more scales, running over old fun covers, playing old songs. I was playing more. It then asked another question. If this step had come between me and 40 hours, 100 hours, or 600 hours of playing, where else was I getting in my own way? Although I had played several instruments for many years, recording was this dark corner that I didn't know about, didn't understand, and didn't even know where to begin. Over time, I learned more, I grew more, I became less afraid to push on and explore into the unknown. I started dabbling with photography after scoring a secondhand camera on the outskirts of Atlanta on the way to a Norma Jean show. Picked up a late model GoPro and started to learn about video editing. All of these concepts, curiosities, were all just waiting to be answered by the internet. Through all of this learning and growing and reorganizing and waking up early to make coffee, to get photographs of the sunrise and GoPros off waterfalls, I realized the journey is the destination. That each painting, literature piece, artwork, music, marble, porcelain, that is the work that is done there at that time. That's the best they can do. They are all journal entries. That is the journey. That is the destination, is to grow and build and develop. And with that, I was able to breathe a breath of fresh air and learn to be able to create just for fun again. And that's what this channel is. It's an attic music studio that documents the peripherals and what all that may entail in the steps along the way. This attic studio space is quirky and goofy, but it's not lost on me what a blessing it is to have this place, to be able to create and call it my own for however long I do. To show gratitude, I'm going to document this thing moving forward in hopes that somehow, somewhere, it helps someone in some way. This is kind of a new and uncomfortable world or step for me, but that kind of nudges me in the direction that I'm going the right way, and this is somewhere I can grow and develop, so I'm excited to do so and learn along the way. Each video I release, I'll be challenging myself to do something new or to go out in public and shoot alone. It's really uncomfortable. Use different editing techniques, different camera angles. This is something I incorporate in all the projects that I do, whether it be video or music. I always try to find something that I don't know about, or maybe that I was a little afraid or nervous to try 2 or 3 videos or a song ago, a technique or an application that now I should. And so this helps me grow and keeps me accountable, and I really enjoy it. It's kind of fun and low pressure that way, like a Bob Ross painting, you know? We play music, we don't work it. I'll use this as an excuse to go camp and play guitar and record music out in some pretty cool spaces, respectfully, of course. I'll show you some of my favorite places along the way. We'll catch some sunrises, some sunsets, hang out, stay a while. So if that sounds like your speed, make yourself at home, friend. Until next time, y'all take care.